MELTDOWN.com.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and this is a pretty interesting little bit of news today coming out about a app that is female only, and that is biological female only. I don't have any opinion on this one way or another. I think obviously you have a market that you want to serve, and it's really no different than an app that, you know, there are definitely apps for like males only. I imagine there are apps for Latinos only, or for Asian people. I don't know, but you get what I'm saying. There are apps for every group of people. What's different about this one is that it's only for biological women, and that's a massive issue, right? Even though there are plenty of apps that are exclusive to the trans community, you can't have it this direction, which makes absolutely zero sense to me. But before we get into all of that, just a quick word from this video's sponsor, Sheath. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor. That's right, Sheath. These boxers are designed to keep your balls off your legs. Sheath has 3 individual compartments to keep everything down there separate and cool and comfortable. And hey, since they've been a long-time sponsor, I've heard from many of you who have tried out Sheath and really love it. They were invented by a U.S. Army soldier who came up with the idea for Sheath during his second tour in Iraq, where it was hot as heck and his boys needed to breathe. And on top of all sorts of awesome designs for Sheath, they've added all sorts of winter items, hoodies, gator necks, and all sorts of base layers. Head on over to the link in the description and pinned comment down below. Use my promo code to save and support the channel and keep everything nice, cool, and dry. So here's the article. Trans women slam female-only social networking app Giggle for using facial recognition software that excludes them. But the CEO doubles down and insists that it's not a place for men claiming to be women. Oof. Whoever the CEO is, has got some brass ones. Now, just to prove my point, there are, and by the way, there are apps of which there are many that are for trans folks exclusively. How about this one? #1 trans dating site, Translure. 5,000 ratings, 4.1 stars. I don't know, probably works okay. You've got lists and lists and lists of apps that are specific for the trans community. It's just, you have this handful of like activists that, look, not everything's for you, all right? That's the way the real world works. I don't know what else to say. I mean, this is madness. We have, you know, a biological male who was a professional swimmer just a year ago, suddenly competing in female competitions and destroying everybody, okay? This is madness. And in this particular case, what's the difference? A female-only app has come under criticism for, quote, discriminating against trans women with its facial recognition AI. By the way, it's not discriminating against them. It's coming right out and saying that the site is for biological women. You have every right to use whatever other app you want, but my private business, right? What do you think that like all these like Grindr and all these other apps, if straight people invaded it, you'd see hundreds of articles that are straight people are invading one of the last safe spaces for, you just know that's the articles that would get written. Giggle is a social network only for females, which launched in early 2020, has since been the subject of complaints by trans women who told The Verge that their requests to join have been denied by the facial app recognition system because their features were not feminine enough. However, now, Giggle's CEO, Sal Grover, Sal, is that, I'm assuming that's a man? Let's see. Whoa, it's not. Wow. Shocking. He goes, it's not that I don't believe trans women are female. It's not about belief. It's that I acknowledge and live in reality. It's about fact. Wow. One day there will be media articles about female spaces that focus on females. Until then, and then there's the link. I mean, unironically based. I mean, people have to look. And again, I know every time I talk about this topic, I get an email or two from trans viewers who will gently, always, by the way, never angry. Seriously, I'm not being sarcastic. Will disagree with me on something, and I super appreciate that. I really do. But, you know, in this particular case, I just don't see what the issue is. It's an app for biological females. So, if there was an app for biological males, so, if there was an app exclusively for trans people, which there are, again, like I said, several, so, I mean, what are we doing here? Grover, who does not believe trans women are female, told Female that the fact is women of color are on Giggle. Giggle is used by women of every race, religion, and culture. The quality that Giggle users have in common is that they are female. The AI it uses for face recognition works by analyzing the bone structure of its members, meaning that individuals with masculine features could be prevented from creating an account on top. Now, that seems problematic because, you know, I've definitely met women with like square jaws and stuff like that. And to believe me, they're all women. So I don't know if it seems like an odd way to scan, although I don't know how else you would do it unless you, well, take pictures of certain body parts, but that would probably be not okay either. Claims of phobia around Giggle first surfaced when the app was created in early 2020. However, after the story emerged again after Pink News approached Grover for comment in an article over the controversy. An unnamed freelance journalist writing for the publication sent a request for comment asking whether or not trans women are encouraged to join the app and whether the issue of facial recognition would be fixed. Grover replied by saying Giggle is a social networking app for females. Males are excluded from the user base. There is no other specific demographic that is excluded from the app other than males. I mean, based? There's literally nothing wrong with this. If I have a social network, if I was joining a social network, I wouldn't want to join one exclusively full of men, but then I just don't install it, right? What happened to all these private company people? The only reason anyone is struggling, this is the CEO, the only reason anyone is struggling to answer, quote, what is a woman, is because men are claiming to be women. That's all. Take that away, and what is a woman remains as clear as it's always been. Nothing has changed. We're just still adult human females. Evolution hasn't tricked us. I am not obligated to adhere to, quote, gender identity, and it's no one's human right to force me. I mean, she's not wrong. The question is, how long until Google and iTunes remove her app? Because I suspect they will. No males are encouraged to join. However, if male people respected female spaces and left them, it would be lovely, however, if male people respected female spaces and left them alone. An editor for the publication later asked Grover to unequivocally confirm whether trans women are accepted on Giggle, to which she replied, Giggle is an app for females to connect in a female environment. Nice, nice, nice. So essentially, let me point this out. Let me put how this works. This person who works for Pink News, a LGBTQ website, picked a target, right? And went to that target knowing the answer and wrote an article and pretended to be offended. You knew that Giggle was for biological women. Why are you emailing the CEO and asking about trans women? It's not for them. So what? I don't see any value in excluding people out of a social media network or social network, but I don't have one. There are certainly race-specific apps. There are LGBTQ plus apps, and there's an app for every one of those letters. There's apps for people who wear fursuits. Who cares? Well, because it's free advertising, right? They make money off clicks, and that's what this is all about. It's about bullying and making money. There's also a claim that it excludes women of color, which is also not founded and clearly untrue. Giggle doesn't use security to stop women from joining the app. Giggle has security because males try to come in to what they know is a female space, she said, and again referring to trans women as male. Grindr is an app for the LGBTQ plus community. Does not require security. Straight women like myself who are not part of the Grindr's demographic and therefore not welcome on the app simply leave it alone and move on with our lives. Imagine if males were like that towards Giggle. Grover also claimed that female trans people are using Giggle. However, she applies the term to individuals who were born female and who are in the process of transitioning to male or who are questioning their identity. I find it to be the epitome of ism that publications like Pink News will accuse a company of phobia while completely forgetting that there are trans people we cater to, female trans people. So the only people that they don't cater to are biological males. Literally nothing wrong with it. But get outraged, internet, and I'm sure Google and iTunes will probably ban this too. Hope you enjoyed this video. Talk to you again real soon.